position, how one holds the phone like that.
It basically holds it just like this is holding it,
Right.
except it has three, forget what the hell you call them, man. It has three balancing wheels in it.
Does it?
Has three gyros in it
I'd have to see it.
has three gyros in it that make it balance itself.
So are you guys from Taylor County, or y'all from somewhere else? Or
Swanee County.
Swanee County. All right.
Yeah, we just work around all the counties we can. We go. I've been in Texas. I've been in Colorado. I've been in Wyoming. I've been all over the place. This camera goes. This camera goes wherever. Why? Because there's corruption everywhere, man.
What y'all do is not a bad thing. I don't necessarily agree with the tactic, but I agree with.
Well, what tactic did we use that you didn't like there?
Like I said, I think that sometimes people mischaracterize whenever they generalize things, and it makes people on edge. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But that's just, like I said, I don't disagree with what y'all are doing. I'm just not a fan of that.
Well, some people do things a little different than we do. I don't agree with some of the auditors and how they do things either.
Right.
But
what y'all do?
Who's to be the judge?
Okay. So you can't just sit in there like that. And the whole thing moves around.
And then we turn it on, you got to balance the phone so it sits in there. Okay, and
then do you Bluetooth it to this, and that's how you work it?
Yeah, you can. I don't, because I sometimes don't have time.
I got you.
And when you're out there, you don't think about this. You're just thinking about
what you're watching.
Depends on what's going on. But you can Bluetooth it, and this is Zoom and all kinds of other gadgets you can do. You put it on here. This thing here will actually let you move around this way. If I put this down here, and I focus on that over there, no matter where I move it, it's going to stay focused on that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's $150.
Yeah.
And
I'm real good friends with the
right.
And producers use.
It's nice.
As a matter of fact, I mean, that production company, I shoot with what mine is right there for sometimes.
Huh.
Phone material on TV shows right now, you wouldn't know.
Oh, no.
Because phones have some of the best video there is.
Right.
I'm not afraid to tell them who you use. It's just that, and those guys in there probably doing there all the time. You gotta understand that, we don't hate cops. None of us hate cops.
Mm-hmm.
I got family right now that is cops. I got a soon-to-be son-in-law that wants to be a cop.
All right.
Okay, I have a cousin that was a town cop all his life, and ended up being a sheriff for the majority of his life. He retired now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm in law enforcement. I understand it, but my family that I know of has never done some of the stuff that I see happening out here. My cousin actually, when he retired to be sheriff, the election come up. Somebody was running for election and going to get the win that he didn't like because they were such a tyrant. He jumped back in the election, beat him out. To run again, so somebody could step up that could win the election. But that's what he did. He was actually moving forward, sold his house in Florida that he just bought, built another house up in Pennsylvania just so he could stay there.
All right.
To fight the tyranny. That's how bad it is.
What part of Pennsylvania?
What part? In the
I've only been to a couple places.
Near State College.
Okay, I've only been to a couple places.
I mean, I spent 22 years just outside of Harrisburg.
Okay.
Before I moved down here. Pennsylvania is very tyrannical. Pennsylvania is worse than Florida's not too bad.
Yeah.
Florida's not too bad compared to Pennsylvania.
A really good friend of mine lives in York.
Yeah, my daughter lives in York.
Or Lancaster, rather. Not York.
My daughter lives in York. As a matter of fact, the next election she's probably going to run for commission. She just had a big battle with the government there yesterday. Or Friday, I mean.
All right.
But she was telling me about it yesterday. What they did is they did that, and they bled all the money out of it, and most of them bled it all out to build a jail. York County's jail is tremendous, unbelievable. You could damn near put every resident in that jail.
I had to check it out.
And it's no joke. It's huge, and it costs them. It's their biggest expense they have.
I can believe it.
Okay, and what they do, and this is wrong. What they do is they rent it out to other counties and other places to house prisoners. It's income for them.
Yeah.
Police department and law enforcement has become a business big business. That's what's wrong. That's where it's got to go. That's where it's got to get away from. It's getting too big. It's getting too powerful. They're militarizing, and that's no good. That's no good for you. You think what's happening out here right now? Listen, we've been preaching. What just happened with George and the protests? We've been telling people for years this is coming. We see it.
Right.
We're out here every day. We know thousands of people all over the country. They want to call us sovereign citizens. They want to call us, domestic terrorists. We're not.
Are you not a sovereign?
I want no one. I don't want to fight with you.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have called you a sovereign at all. You have a tag on your car. I mean, you seem
I
like
pay taxes. I do everything.
They seem like all right.
But that's what they want to label us.
Right.
It's the law enforcement are more sovereign than anybody. Think about it. The majority of law enforcement. They retired. That's what happened.
I thought it was Jesus and Abraham.
But what happens is they retire. The majority of them, if they retire $150,000 a year, they can get $150,000 a year for the rest of their life. Do I get that? No. Unless I did super good with what I made when I was working. I mean, I did okay because I don't have to work right. But it wasn't because I didn't. I'm better than most Americans are.
Right.
It's something we don't teach our people to do.
Mm-hmm. Just save money. Yeah.
I mean, we go to school for 12 years, and how much of schooling is anything about how to live?
None at all.
See?
The other day. Yeah. But luckily, he's good about saving us some people. The camper just died or what.
Yeah.
He and I just had that conversation the other day.
But yeah, it's the disconnect between law enforcement and I'll give you one. We went to Texas for a rally. A friend of ours had a court date. Okay, you know what the court date was for? He did this to a cop. Okay, and then they went to the court date. 4 people rode on the sidewalk with chalk. They got arrested. Okay. They were thrown in jail for days until they got bailed out.
Right.
Now, the town that this happened in has a festival that people go out and chalk the sidewalk.
It's like people walk all the time on the sidewalk here.
Well, the words they didn't like, it's what they did. But it's words.
Yeah.
It's legal. Even if you and I don't like what's on that sidewalk, that doesn't matter.
All right.
Nothing we can do about it. Nothing law enforcement is allowed to do about it. So we went back there. Okay. You know what these bastards did? They brought in military vehicles. They bring in these high lifters, pumps in and go up in the air. So they had fencing all the way around this place to keep us from going in places. They thought we were coming in to shoot up the schools and everything. They had cops all over the place. You know what we did? Stood out there with cameras and protested.
All right.
That's it.
I mean, you got it right.
I wouldn't doubt that they spent millions for 3 days of protest.
Probably.
That they didn't have to have any of it. None of it.
All right.
But that's where law enforcement is wrong. They don't need to do that. It's like the rioting and all that stuff's going on. Everybody wants to say that it's domestic terrorists, it's this, that, and the other. Everybody wants to talk about Martin Luther King in his day and how peaceful protesters was. But there was a saying that he had, there was a quote that he made many times that people fail to remember. Riots are the language of the unheard. And these people out here protesting, and I have friends that's been involved with a protest that actually got shot with rubber bullets and tear gas and that, doing nothing but standing there protesting peacefully. Okay? All these law enforcements are raging war on protesting people, which we are allowed to do by the Constitution. The Constitution is eroding by bits and pieces really quick. And that's what we're up against. And that's why we're out here. We do what we're doing. Even though it's just a name, even though it's just you pulling me over.
Right.
You got to get little bits and pieces of that protest in there, because if you don't, we're going to be Russians. We're going to be Chinese walking around here. Even though I would live in China, because I'm telling you, they got more freedom than I got here. I've been there. I've been there. I've lived there for weeks. And I had more freedom there than I have here. This is not a free country. This is not a free country. I did not have to ask permission to go anywhere. I did not have, I could have bought any drug I wanted over there in the store. But there's no drug activity there. None. There's no alcoholism there. None. You could drink at 5 years old if you wanted to. We create our own mess. Our government makes us do this. Why is that? Why is that? If I wanted a penicillin pill, I could walk into the store and buy penicillin. If I wanted an opioid, I could walk into the store there and buy one. But I didn't, because I don't want it. I don't need it. And the Chinese people they don't abuse it either.
In Iraq, you could do the same thing, and there were definitely drunks in Iraq, definitely drug users in Iraq.
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been there for days, and I was in Beijing. I was in Beijing. Okay, 30-some million people, and I can tell you, I've never seen an alcoholic stumbling and sitting somewhere. Never.
Well, I mean, in Iraq, you can go in anywhere and buy anything. Yeah. At any given time. I definitely saw people that were drunk, alcoholics. I definitely saw drug users.
Now their punishment in China is pretty crazy. You caught with drugs, you lose fingers now. I mean, but is it wrong?
Unusual punishment. Unusual if you look at the Constitution.
But see, that's what we're taught. You see what I'm saying? We're taught that. We're raised to think this way. Until you go and you see those other cultures, you don't know what's going on. That's their culture. Leave them alone. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I'm not messing with the Chinese.
But we want to. Our government, they give me a list before I went over there. There was pages of what I'm not supposed to talk about, what I'm not supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do. This, I covered that whole page. And probably the first day with the guy I hired a girl to take me places and that, right? We sit down to eat, and now she was asking. It was almost like she had that guy to ask me them questions. I didn't get in trouble for answering those questions. It didn't do nothing to her. It didn't change her mind. 90% of the people there are happy. How many people in this country is happy? I bet there's not 90%. I mean, look at what was just going on right now. Tens of thousands of people out here protesting.
I would blame that on political parties.
You would what?
I blame the unhappiness on political parties. And I'm going to let the Republicans.
Listen,
I would blame
you know what I tell people? They always ask me, are you Republican or Democrat? You know what I tell them?
You're probably a libertarian. If you were going to pick a party, you don't have a party, I'd say you're a libertarian.
I'm as equal as you can get, because my thinking of government is, if there's a Democrat and a Republican party, since they're their main parties, all they're there for is to divide us. That's it. It's the
parties exist. They're a corporation like any other corporation. So as long as you keep that in mind.
Nah, I mean.
So, but I would have guessed we're a libertarian, because you said pretty middle of the road. People can do what they want to do.
Well, I grew up
and limited government interference.
I grew up and I worked union, and that day you had to register Democrat. If I got brought into being a union person and I was registered Republican, I would have gotten fired somehow. I would have gotten kicked out somehow. I sway either way. I mean, if you're good.
The problem is that if I say I'm a Republican, then you already have in your mind that I'm pro-life. I don't know. Whatever it could be. All these things I have to identify with as being Republican, but that's not necessarily the case, because the party wants to be this or that. You know what I mean? But I could be that to be kind of middle of the road, which I probably am more than most people.
But yeah, I mean that's it doesn't matter to me whether you're Republican or Democrat. It's what your morals are. Mm-hmm. If your morals don't line up to what the majority of the people at least want, right, then I'm against you. It's that simple. I understand. It's not even my morals, because I can live with things that I don't like. But if the majority of people, if it doesn't affect them, or if it doesn't suppress them, it doesn't hurt them, I don't care.
What's up? How are you? Doing good.
It's that I don't like. It's the stuff that suppresses people. I mean, the most common thing that the cops do around here is I'm walking down the street, the first thing they want to do, and they see me with the camera, and they want to stop me, they want my ID.
Yeah, which they can't ask. That's why I didn't ask y'all's name the whole time. I just asked what your channel was. I was going to see your channel.
And believe me, the cop that stopped us 2 days ago, we will be filing reports, and we will be filing lawsuits.
That's the thing.
The lawsuits is not for money.
Yeah, no, you're just doing it just to prove the point.
No, it's not to prove the point. It's to put a hurt to them. And at least the residents see that, hey, they did wrong. Step up and start bitching and complaining about these people. Stop paying this money out. You know what I'll do with the money? I don't.
All right.
But it's the guy admitted he stopped us for nothing but to ask us a question.
Yeah.
But then he tried to say, well, I'm conducting an investigation. Investigation of what?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You didn't have a problem with
3
all.
minutes in, you could tell the guy's like, whoa, wait a minute. I pulled the wrong pickup over today. He didn't want nothing to do with this.
All right.
But, you know, he couldn't answer our questions. And that's the disconnect. Just answer our questions when we ask you. That's all you have to do.
A lot of them, they get so nervous about being sued that they don't want to say anything, and they don't want
Listen, I'm not out for lawsuits.
Yeah.
I'm not out for it. But if you give me that, if you give me that opportunity, I'm going to, for one reason, to make sure that you guys get in line.
Yeah, you learn it. You're gonna learn the lesson. I get you.
You know?
You learn the lesson.
Because that's the only resort we got. We can't go to nobody. Like, they filed a complaint against that guy. You know where that complaint's going to be?
No.
I can almost tell you that if I file that complaint 2 weeks later, I FOIA that record. There's no record.
Right.
It's in the trash.
But if you file a civil suit.
But at least I have record that I filed a complaint. You see? And if that wouldn't happen, you know, one of the biggest things we have to do is qualified immunity for police officers got to go. That's the worst thing that's ever happened. Okay, that allows any cop to say, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know I did that.
Right.
Okay? Disband the unions. Okay? Or at least have an oversight committee from regular citizens that investigate them. They investigate themselves.
That would be the best idea.
They investigate themselves. Now, who the hell investigates themselves and commits a crime?
Yeah. Exactly. I've always thought that would be a good idea.
It's like George up there. If that video didn't surface, do you think any of that would happen? Because if you look back and you see what he put down on the police report, that guy resisted arrest. That guy was flipping out. That guy was crazy. He had to do that for us. But as soon as the film came out, guess what? It all changed. And that's why we filmed everything. Because it's pathetic. It's craziness.
Well, I need to get in.
All right. Well, thank you.
Sweat to death out here. Nice to meet y'all too. You have a good one.
Take it
See
easy,
ya.
man.
You too.
If you dance, I'll dance.